My brother Danny, who was a year and a half older than me, liked snakes, obviously missing one of the major warning points of the Adam and Eve saga. For much of his youth, his bedroom housed a showcase of scaly, slithering things that lived in glass aquariums. One particularly mean snake always curled up on the bottom of the aquarium, poised and ready to strike when Danny opened the top to dump in a few appetizing crickets. I once saw that snake leap out of the aquarium and bite Danny's face, leaving little bloody fang marks above his eyebrow. This brazen snake attack hardly fazed my brother, who simply yanked the snake off and dropped it back into the aquarium, showing as much annoyance as if he had just clipped off a hangnail. When that snake escaped from its aquarium and disappeared, I couldn't sleep for weeks, afraid that the creature would slither into my bed in the middle of the night and bite my face. The only good thing was that it escaped right when Mum and Dia, my father, were planning to reupholster the living room couch. Since the fugitive snake was possibly on the lam somewhere in our house, Dia thought that full disclosure was prudent. So when the reupholster crew arrived to pick up the couch, he informed them that there was just a slight chance that a small, harmless snake might be hiding somewhere in the couch springs. When Dia had originally called the shop to get an estimate for the job, they told him it would take 3 weeks. Apparently, when word spread through the shop that our couch might be harboring a snake, all the workers refused to touch it, and the owner of the shop had to reupholster the couch himself, while his employees had fun scaring each other by cutting long shapes out of foam, throwing them, and yelling, "Serpiente!" There was no snake hiding in the springs, but our newly reupholstered couch was returned 2 weeks early. Danny was a quiet, introverted, unhurried kid, and when he hit puberty, his voice became so deep and slow that my Uncle Pat joked that he sounded like an undertaker. He also had a sneaky sense of humor that surfaced in unexpected ways, like naming his 6-foot boa constrictor Mary, after Aunt Mary, our most elegant, prim, and proper relative, who probably didn't appreciate being the tongue-in-cheek inspiration for a creature that snarfed rats. It was Mary, the snake, who made Danny swear. Nobody in our family was allowed to swear, except for Dia, whose entire vocabulary boiled down to one well-chosen angry D word every time he worked on the car. Mum, however, carried a reputation so completely unadulterated that she once famously said, "What the heck?" in a sentence, and then hastily disclaimed it, declaring, "But I didn't say heck." In my youthful purity, I couldn't imagine uttering a swear word without suffering some sort of earthly or eternal consequence. There's a reason some snakes are called constrictors, and my teenage brother learned that one summer day when he walked out to the front yard with 6-foot Mary draped over his shoulders. Mary wasn't in the mood to cooperate that day. Maybe she was hungry and my brother's head looked like a worthy meal. Or maybe boa constrictors just enjoy wrapping their thick coils around something and squeezing for the simple, ugly fun of it. No matter what, Danny's neck was definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time. At first, he thought he could easily convince Mary to let go, but Mary only tightened her coils when he tried to pull her off. Still calm, Danny tried to unwrap her thick body from his neck. No good. Mary only squeezed tighter, and now my brother's face reddened as he jammed his fingers between the coils and his neck to give himself some breathing room. Though I was standing close by, I didn't quite understand he was in trouble and just stood there stupidly, watching him struggle as Mary nearly strangled him. Danny finally found the strength to suck in enough air to shout out to me in a desperate attempt to solicit my help. There was time for only one word, and the word he chose was "shit!" Shocked by the utter unexpected authority of this word, I suddenly sprang into action. Leaping over to aid him, I grabbed that thick, cold snake and pulled as hard as I could. Between the two of us, we finally managed to pry Mary off, leaving Danny panting and gasping in exhaustion for a few minutes. That day, I learned a valuable lesson, which was, perhaps, one of the biggest revelations of my young God-fearing life. A good curse word can make all the difference.